Now, over the past few weeks and months, we've shared the stories of a number of South Africans who found themselves stranded overseas as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. Some admittedly had made perhaps unwise travel decisions, shall we say, but many others had been working overseas and they found themselves laid off, unable to come home because of the travel restrictions, looking for repatriation flights and then finding to their horror that the expense of those flights was beyond the capabilities of their wallet. Most of the people we've spoken to previously have now made it home on the various repatriation flights, but there are still many, many others who are waiting, unsure of how and when they are going to come home. And we want to profile a few more of those stories with you today to keep you aware of the fact that this situation still exists. On the line with me right now is Tinitia Sieberhagen of Centurion, who is stuck in Phnom Penh, the capital of Cambodia, along with her mother. Tinitia, thank you so much for joining us on the show today and welcome. Can you tell us briefly how you and your mom came to be in Cambodia and how long you've been there?
Hi. So I've been in Cambodia for 4 years now. My mom, she joined me last year. I came here to basically try and get a better future for myself and build a relationship with my father that moved here. And my mom ended up coming from like having a bad time in South Africa, and she needed a bit of a break for herself, so she joined me. And now we find ourselves stuck together, unfortunately, here.
Tinitia, can you tell us briefly what happened when coronavirus emerged and Cambodia realized it was going to have to take steps as other countries did? What was the impact on you as South Africans living and working there?
Well, to be honest with you, Cambodia didn't go into lockdown like many of the other countries. So we were still going to work, but we were getting half salaries. So for me, I do have health issues where I do suffer from cancer and endometriosis. So I was really, really stressed by still having to face going to work every day and putting myself at risk. And eventually, my mom decided to pull me out of work and keep me at home for my own health. And it ended up affecting us a lot more because our salaries just kept being cut more and more. And with my mom being the sole provider, she then ended up losing her job. And it's been extremely stressful because we don't have our passports for one.
Why not?
So even if we were able... So my passport is being held by a hospital here in Phnom Penh because I was in hospital for 2 weeks in February. And obviously with all the salaries being cut and everything, it's been a struggle paying that. My mom's passport is being held by a landlord. They are not helping us in any way. So even if we had the funds to leave on a flight, our passports are being held, and the prices are so high.
Tinitia,
we can't even
carry on.
survive ourselves. We can't even survive ourselves, so how can we even pay for a repatriation flight?
What sort of help and communication, if any, have you had from the Department of International Relations? Have you reached out to them to alert them to your plight, to tell them that your passports are being held and ask for help?
Yes, I've spoken to quite a few people. I've also spoken to one of the guys from the Thailand embassy, and they said that they would send an official letter to the hospital regarding my passport, and we've got some people that are trying to help us, but it hasn't been resolved. I've asked constantly from the Embassy of Thailand, is there any new news, because there's more and more flights coming up. I've got other support groups that I try and talk to. They are willing to help, but they can't do anything about the passport issue. I've got, there's a group, Bring Our Families Home.
Yeah.
They've been also trying to assist. I've got many people trying to assist in finding ways that we can get the passports back, but nothing is happening. No one is helping, and I'm just not getting anywhere.
Tinitia, I'm so sorry that you and your mom are facing this terrible situation. Is your dad able to help at all? You said you'd moved there specifically to try and build a relationship with him. Is he in a position to be able to help you at all?
Unfortunately, my dad had to give up the business in Cambodia, and he got a flight to go back to England because he's a British citizen. Coronavirus really affected his business as well, so he's not here anymore, unfortunately, and he's not working in England either. Okay. So it's not that much of a possibility for him to help.
Tinitia, just in closing, I mean, we'll be thinking of you and your mom as you try to survive and hold on to the hope that someone is going to help you. Is there anything South Africans can do to support you or to apply pressure to try and get you guys home?
You know what? One thing that I can say is the group, Bring Our Families Home, is a very good group. They've set up food parcels and all of that for everyone that are stranded here, that are struggling. So everyone could just go there. People make like a 50 Rand donation, as far as I know. And it really changed lives here. We are on that food parcel thing. And if people can just start applying pressure on the government, you know, we know that there has been petrol and that has been gifted, but we still have to pay so much money to get home. So as much pressure as possible will help all of us that are still stuck here, because there's many of us.
Tinitia Sieberhagen, good luck to you and your mom. You'll be in our thoughts on the line there from Phnom Penh in Cambodia. So after 4 years of working in that country, stuck there, unable to find her way home at this point. The Facebook group Tinitia's mentioned is Bring Our Families Home, and she was correct in saying there is an option to make a 50 Rand donation towards food parcels. There's also an option to buy face masks from them at 30 Rand a mask, which also contributes towards the many families they are supporting who are in that kind of situation. So please consider that if you are in a position to be able to help.